The nonprofit One Economy and the New America Foundation have put the U.S. Pacific Islands on the map, a national broadband map that shows underserved areas. The map was funded by the U.S. Commerce Department through the American Recovery and Reinvestment Act and shows the Pacific territories have the most expensive internet access in America, strangling economic development and communication with the outside world. American Samoa is the most expensive, and One Economy's Daniel Calarco says the NMI is more expensive than Guam.
Guam has about a dozen trans-Pacific cables that go through there. There are cables that go from places like China to the west coast of the U.S., from the Philippines, from Singapore. There's all sorts of different countries that plug into cables that go through Guam, but then ultimately will go to Hawaii and the rest of the U.S.
Allowing Guam to tap into infrastructure the NMI can't and escape what's called high middle-mile costs.
The Marianas Islands, on the other hand, has one cable, and it links them to Guam. So the cost of that cable had to be borne by the local ISP, the one that I believe it's called the Micronesian Telecom Cable, and it cost, I believe, $17 million.
Making NMI rates for similar broadband speeds versus Guam higher when spread out over just a few tens of thousands of households.
Usually when you buy a higher speed, a faster connection, your cost per megabit per second goes down, right? You would think that, all right, if you upgraded from a 1 megabit per second to a 2 megabit per second plan, that it shouldn't cost twice as much. Maybe it'll cost 1.5 times as much or something like that. In the Marianas Islands, it costs, let's say, 2.5 times as much.
Providing a disincentive, Calarco says, to buy higher speeds, which are nearly 5 times more expensive than in Guam. Not good when demand for service is also high.
We were granted the Department of Education. I think there was something like 5,000 laptops that were given out to various high schools. Yeah, and as a result, there are incredible penetration into households of computers. Very few households say that the reason why they don't have internet is because they don't have a computer. So I would say the demand is there in CNMI, that there are people that want laptops. People are sitting outside of the mobile station in Garapan at all hours of the day to get their Wi-Fi.
Only about half of those who have internet in the NMI have broadband at home because of the cost. The U.S. Commerce Department gave local provider ITE a grant to upgrade its cable and speeds. But Calarco says
the price has not come down, as far as I can tell from what's publicly available. So that's sort of what needs to happen. And I think what's happening right now, there's a company called GPA that's based in Guam that is looking to start operations in the Marianas Islands. And I think as you see more entrants into the market, you're going to see costs come down.
Calarco says right now the key is more competition. Just 2 providers, ITE and MCV, aren't enough. And Guam also benefits from its heavy military presence. But Calarco agrees a sustained military buildup in the islands could boost NMI service, especially if the military needs to transmit huge amounts of data. New or expanded cable, he says, means more capacity for everyone. On Capitol Hill, Matt Kay for PNC News.